What you're about to hear doesn't make sense. The President of the United States just warned that a whole civilization could die tonight. At the same time, the Vice President is in Europe helping a foreign leader win re-election. So the question is simple. What exactly is going on?
This does not feel like a war that's de-escalating.
Whoa!
This afternoon, the Israeli town believed to host their nuclear arsenal was hit by an Iranian ballistic missile. Retaliation, Tehran said, for a strike on one of their nuclear facilities. It was not the only attack that expanded the scope of this war. Iran fired 2 ballistic missiles at the UK-US base on Diego Garcia, around 2,400 miles from the Iranian coast. Although neither hit their target, it is far further than their missiles were thought to be able to reach. The full scale and capacity of Iran's ballistic missile program has long been the subject of debate. Today, some of those questions have been answered.
Right now, tensions with Iran are escalating. We're hearing language that sounds less like diplomacy and more like the edge of a major conflict. Words like civilization ending. That's not normal political language. That's crisis language. That's the kind of language leaders use when they're preparing people for something big. Now here's where things take a turn. Because while all of this is happening, Vice President JD Vance is in Budapest, not for emergency diplomacy, not for crisis coordination, but to support Viktor Orbán, just days before his election.
Well, thank you, Prime Minister, first of all, and thanks to the people of Hungary for welcoming me. This is a beautiful city, a city that I've been to once before on a personal trip probably 5 or 6 years ago. I also want to thank the President of the United States, who of course is a dear friend of Prime Minister Orbán and a very strident supporter of Prime Minister Orbán, because together the President of the United States and the Prime Minister of Hungary have been able to do amazing things. And we're here because we want to celebrate those amazing things, we want to build upon those amazing things, and of course, I want to help as much as I possibly can the Prime Minister as he faces this election season, which I believe is happening in just about a week, the election to elect the next Prime Minister of Hungary.
And we are in for a 12-hour period that's going to determine the future of the Middle East and probably the world.
What was your reaction to that Truth Social? The whole civilization will die. He doesn't want it to happen, but it probably will.
Yeah, I think that what President Trump said yesterday when he said we're negotiating with new people, and then in the Truth Social post, which you've just read, he said we're negotiating with a new regime, a changed regime. That means that there are pretty active negotiations going on. And then the attack this morning, or just a few minutes ago, on Kharg Island. Kharg Island it does 2 things. It's in the middle of the Strait of Hormuz, and it has military facilities on the site, on the island, and it has where all the oil gets offloaded from Iran pipelines and then onto tankers. So what President Trump has just done is he's taken out the military capability, all the facilities, the naval facilities and others on Kharg Island, and all he has to do is turn the guns just a few miles and he could take out their entire oil export industry.
Let that sink in. Now, if you don't know who Viktor Orbán is, he is not just another European leader. He's become a symbol of nationalist politics, a symbol of strongman leadership, a symbol of what some in the U.S. political movement admire. So this visit is not just a trip, it's a signal.
A special guest that asked that I give him a phone call, and we'll see. Let's hope he actually answers. This is going to be very embarrassing. Hello, Mr. President. How are you? Mr. President, you are on with about 5,000 Hungarian patriots, and I think they love you even more than they love Viktor Orbán.
Well, I can't believe that. I can't believe that, because I love Hungary and I love that Viktor. I'll tell you, he's a fantastic man. We've had a tremendous relationship, and he does a job. Remember this, He didn't allow people to storm your country and invade your country like other people have and ruin their countries, frankly. He's kept your country good. He's kept Hungarian people in your country. And he's done a fantastic job. And let me tell you, I like him a lot, but if I didn't think he did a good job, I wouldn't be making a call like this. But boy, that sounds like a big crowd, and that sounds like my kind of people. Well, I just want to tell you, I'm a big fan of Viktor. I'm with him all the way. The United States is with him all the way. And it's a real honor to talk to you. You're really incredible people with great enthusiasm and brilliance, because you're brilliant people, and I really love it. You have a man that kept your country strong, and he kept your country good, and you don't have problems with all of the problems that so many other countries have, because they let their countries be invaded. And you don't have that problem because of Viktor Orbán. That's the only reason you don't have that problem. There was a lot of pressure on him to do it, and those other countries made big mistakes. So I wish you a lot of luck, and I love you all.
Now, to be fair, supporters would say this is about alliances, about strengthening relationships, about global strategy. But here's the other side of that argument. If the United States is truly on the edge of a major conflict, why is the Vice President not in Washington? Why is he not in the Situation Room? Why is he on a political stage in another country? Those two realities, they don't line up. And this isn't the first time we've seen this pattern. Big, dramatic language paired with political theater. Crisis framing mixed with ideological messaging.
President Trump has issued an extraordinary warning to Iran, threatening to blow up its power plants and bridges if it doesn't open up the Strait of Hormuz by his deadline of tomorrow. The threat, which was laden with expletives, is being interpreted by some as in breach of the rules of international law.
When those things start happening together, it changes how people see the world. Because when leaders start talking about civilizations ending, and at the same time, they're aligning themselves with strongman leaders abroad, that's when people stop seeing politics and start seeing something bigger, something more dangerous. So here's the real question. Is this about strategy, or is this about priorities? Because if we are truly standing on the edge of something serious, the American people deserve clarity, not confusion. Tell me what you think in the comments, and share this with someone who needs to hear it.